Your next pose is psoas release over the bolster. Your psoas muscles are your deepest hip flexor muscles, and they run from your bottom ribs down the spine a few vertebrae into the front of the hip creases, and they attach at the top of your femurs on the medial side. So for this shape, I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. If you have a bolster would be fine to put under your sacrum. If you don't have a bolster, you can also practice this pose on 1 or 2 blocks. My blocks are thinner, which is why I'm using 2, but if you have a regular size block, 1 block is fine. So for the first one, I'll show you with the bolster. You'll also need a strap for both of these shapes. We'll do the strap part first because it's a little bit more complicated. Undo your strap all the way and take the end of the strap through both buckles. Then you'll take it over one and under the other. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt or anything that you can tighten, like a scarf or a tie if you literally tie it. Set up your bolster or your block about halfway down your mat, and I like to start actually sitting on the bolster or the block. Take the strap around your thighs, making sure that your knees are hip-width distance apart, so not squeezed all the way in, allow a little bit of space. And then roll down on your side, then onto your back. You should land your hips, or your glutes rather, onto the bolster or the block. That way you can feel the attachment of the psoas, which is right at those bottom ribs, sinking down towards the ground. The strap is there so that you don't have to work your inner thigh muscles to keep the legs together. They can actually just rest against the strap. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is very similar to bridge over a block. You'll take your block or 2 blocks, lift your hips, and slide the blocks under. Now again, you're actually not on the sacrum, which is where we normally would be for bridge. You're a little bit lower, closer to the glutes, so that your rib cage can sink down towards the ground. This pose won't feel like a big stretch, but it is a release for the psoas.